Well, hey, neighbor, it's me, Angie. Come on in. I went outside to do our neighborhood chat, and it is cold, and the wind blowing is not making it any better. So what did I do? I just pranced myself right back in this house and said, nope, I'm not doing that. But anyway, so I decided to have our neighborhood chat at my dining table. And yes, another week has gone by, and we are going to sit around the dining table and just shoot the out of it. You know what I'm saying? Just have us a talk and just run with it. And I think what we need to talk about today is searching. And you say, well, it's me, Angie. What are we looking for? What am I trying to find? First of all, on a daily basis in my life, I try to become who I am ultimately going to be. After 56 years, I'm still growing and maturing and finding new things. Like years ago, I would have never wore red lipstick. I probably would have wore this color fingernail polish, but I would have never wore headbands ever. So as I've gotten older, I've done, and I have earrings on today, in case y'all haven't noticed, but I've done things since I've been on YouTube that normally people that know me from the town that I live in would not even recognize me, where you all would think it was common for me to be like I am. But that's not always been the case. So we're evolving, or we should be, as we go through our journey of life, because this is just a journey. This is just a moment in time that we're here on this planet living a life, trying to get through to the next experience that we're going to have, depending on what your belief is. My belief is that I'm going to be going to heaven with all my loved ones, and it's going to be beautiful. Now, that may not be your belief, and that's fine. I won't judge you for yours if you don't judge me for mine. And I'm still not going to judge you for yours, even though you judge me for my belief. I'm fine, and I'm still going to love you. It doesn't matter if we disagree. And actually, it's healthy to have someone disagree with you. Because if I had a friend that agreed with everything I say or I have said in the past, I would question that. Because no one should ever agree 100% with everything of what you say. They may have some little something that they don't agree with. So disagreeing can be healthy if you do it the right way. You know, you have to disagree in the right way. Now, when you disagree with someone and you are trying to convince them to come over to agree, to believe what you believe, and then it angers you that they don't, check yourself. Because, you know, ultimately you are not in control of changing that person. All you can do is leave them with the thought of what your thought process is. Don't try to change anyone. You know, I say this over and over again, but our responsibility is just to love that person. And I know sometimes you have to love people from a distance, and it takes a lot to love some people. Because some people are just not lovable. That's the main ones you should really love. It's the ones that are not lovable. It's easy to love the people that really know about love. But it's the ones that don't know about true love, you know, that are hard to love. Because they don't know. They don't recognize it. I mean, you only know what you know, right? You can't know to do better until someone shows you. You know, it's like a child that you're raising up from an infant to an adult. I mean, they only know what you tell them if you don't send them out in the world. They're not going to know any different. They're going to think what you're saying to them is right. So you have to be careful. Now, when it comes to people, you know, and a lot of people don't like the peopling thing. I mean, I get tired of the peopling thing too. I mean, people, they're so fickle. I mean, one minute they like you and the next minute they don't. One minute you're their biggest, they're your biggest fan and they couldn't speak any more highly of you. And the next thing you know, they're telling other people about how bad you are and what a bad person you are. I mean, people, they're just like a roller coaster. They're just up and down, up and down. But it's okay, because as long as you are secure in who you think you are or who you know you are, it doesn't matter how they talk about you or how they treat you. Now, does it hurt? Oh, well, yeah, it hurts some people. And it would depend on what the person was saying about me, whether it would hurt me or not. But most of it would go in one ear and out the other. And I would probably laugh about a lot of it. Because in order to be offended, you have to really care about the person that's delivering the message. You have to really value their opinion. So if you don't really value someone's opinion, whatever they say about you, it doesn't matter. That way you don't get offended easily. And I don't. I don't get offended easily. I mean, I give you enough space to believe what you want to believe, and I want you to give me enough space to believe what I want to believe. I haven't always been this way. I can see back in my late 20s and early 30s, I was a right fighter. You know, I always had to be right. And I was just going to argue till I made you see that I was right. But I destroyed a lot of relationships, you know, where I chose to be right instead of chose to bow out and just compromise. You know, you have to pick and choose. Do I want to be right? Or do I want to ruin this friendship, this relationship? It depends on how much you value that relationship. But back then, I couldn't see it. And back then, I thought I had to fight for everything that I wanted. I had to just get out there and just fight everything. I was just fighting myself. I mean, if you could have just known me back then, you would not believe the person back then compared to the way I am now, because I just was thinking that I had to fight for everything that I got. And it stemmed from lack of trust in people, not thinking that I had people that would be there for me or take up for me or stand by me. That's where it stemmed from. I was always for the underdog. I always took up for the person that was, everyone was picking on. The ones that people didn't like, that's the people that I wanted to be around. Because I always felt like that, you know, that I never felt that I was less than anyone or that I was beneath anyone. But I always felt like I was an island unto myself, like nobody understood me. Because I've always been a deep thinker, someone that always knew there was more to this life than what it really is. As far back as I can remember, I always believed in God, and I always prayed, and I always talked to God like I'm talking to you. And I guess I don't guess. I know that's how I've made it 56 years. And I was a little weird in my teenage years, where most people, now don't get me wrong, I did my partying and I did my going out and having a good time, but when it come to relationships, I wasn't the type of girl that needed a guy all the time. Like some girls wanted a boyfriend all the time. They wanted to, if they didn't have a boyfriend, they were sad and all this stuff. That wasn't me. I didn't date that many guys before I met James. And I don't know. A relationship with a male was not that important to me as a teenager. Um, I just sought other things. It was like a part of me was missing, and I was in search of that part. And until I found it, I wasn't going to be able to move on with my life. And I don't know if you feel that way. Like something is missing. And you can't quite put your finger on it. Or you might know what's missing, but you just don't know how to go about finding it. Ask questions. Ask someone their story. Ask them advice. Ask them, had they ever been through this or been through that? I mean, I had abandonment issues. Oh my gosh. Even after James and I got married, I felt like I had been abandoned. And when I finally realized that I didn't have those issues anymore, was when I realized that I have me no matter where I am, I'm there. And that I can depend on me. And that I am good enough. And that I don't have to have anybody else to make me who I am. And you don't have to have anybody else to make you who you are. I mean, some people have to have somebody with them all the time. I have a relative that will not go shopping by herself. She don't want to go anywhere by herself. She wants somebody with her. Me, when I used to drive, I'd love to get in the car and just be by myself and drive somewhere. I don't really have to have anybody with me. I don't have to have anybody with me now, you know, here at the house to entertain myself. I've always been that way. I like me. I always try to figure out what I could be doing in with my life to help others. Because really that's what it's about anyway, right? It's about knowing who to help, when to help, and how to help. Because I don't think you should help everybody all the time. I think that with my experience that I have to be led to help whoever that I want to help. If I feel it inside my soul that, okay, that's the person I need to help, that's what I'll do. And I don't mind giving because I'm a very giving person. And that's what makes the world go around. You know, when you give, the more you receive. I know that sounds strange to some people, but it's the truth. You give and it comes back. And then you give more and it comes back more. A lot of us want to base that on money, material things. But it's not always that. But that's what makes the world go around. So that's what we try to base all that on. And we are, we do get blessed in that area too when we give. The God I serve, I know we can't outgive him. So the more I give, the more he gives to me. And he has proven that over and over again. I know now, especially with the holidays coming up, you know, we just celebrated Halloween. And now we're going to celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas. And this time of year, I find that a lot of people are depressed and sad and lonely because they may not have family or friends or loved ones or the money that they think they need to have in order to buy things for their family. And first of all, I'd like to elaborate on that. It's not about the gift giving. Now, I think I would want little children to be happy, but as an adult, we should know that it's not the gifts that makes the holiday. It's what the holidays are about. First of all, Thanksgiving to me is about the family getting together and spending time together and making memories. Sharing in a meal, laughing at the table and talking and sharing stories and loving on each other. You know, and I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, I love that holiday. Christmas tends to get a lot of people down and depressed because they don't have the money that they think they should have in order to allow their family to have a good Christmas. But I would say to you, don't look at it financially. Look at it as, are we all alive? Are we all healthy? Are we all going to be able to be together? And what's the real reason that we celebrate, as far as Christians, Christmas? It's about Jesus Christ. And though he was not born in December, but that's when we recognize it. But as we go through these next 2 months of holidays, and we think about being depressed or sad or lonely, and we're in that state of mind, let's just grasp and just change our perception on one thing that we can focus on that would cause us to maybe bring a smile to our face, or maybe give something. You know, have you ever heard of a white elephant gift? I don't know if y'all have ever heard of that, but it's gifting someone something that you already have. You know, say a piece of jewelry, or some kind of little whatnot, or just something that you already have. You might want to think about gifting somebody something you already have. Or if you make crafts, you know, a homemade gift to me is more special than anything that someone could buy out of the store. If you want to send a card, a nice little note telling them how much you care about them and how much you love them and you're so happy that they're in your life. You know, try to think about, from now until after the holidays, each day wake up thinking about, I'm going to make this day better for me and for the people I'm around. And you know, it's hard to be around some people. And even people that's in our immediate family, they're hard to be around. So it messes the whole environment up around where we live, the whole vibe, you know, it just messes it all up. And you have that one person that tries to dominate how the mood goes in the home, you know. Try to break that. Try to say, that person may think they're going to get me down, but they're not. I'm going to turn the table and I'm going to be happy. Even if you have to fake it till you make it. You know what I'm saying? Start, and it may not feel authentic to you at first when you start trying to change yourself from so much negativity to so much positivity. But just, you got to start somewhere. Wake up in the mornings and say, okay, God, I'm awake. What do you want me to do? I'm in a lot of pain. I can't do much, but you just show me. Show me who I need to say something to, or who I need to reach out to. And he will. And let's try to enjoy this holiday season. Try to talk about how wonderful things are and not the gloom and doom, because there's enough of that. We need to talk about happy things. Beautiful things. What things we've been given. Because I know that people that, even if you're sad, lonely, and depressed, you can think about something that really makes you smile. The weather, the sunshine, a friend that reaches out to you, a relationship that you would take not even $1 million for. So just think about that, neighbor, as you go through these holidays. And with that being said, like, share, subscribe, comment. You know I love your comments. And I also love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'll see you next time, neighbor. Bye.